So for today's Friday request video, I'm going to be sharing a few of my favorite books. Now, I'd had a request to share my favorite books, and I had trouble narrowing it down just because we could do just favorite novels, favorite biographies, and if you're interested in seeing that, let me know, because I'd love to share that as well. But basically what I did, these are 6 of my favorite books from the last, I'm going to say 5 years. Yeah, these are my favorite books from the last 5 years. I could include more, but 6 seemed like a good number. So here we go. Here are 6 of my favorite books from the last 5 years. I feel like this doesn't need much of an introduction, especially if you've read it. It's funny, I have a thing for celebrity memoirs, I think. I also could have included Rob Lowe's book, Mindy Kaling's book, or Kristen Chenoweth's book, but I had to narrow it down, so celebrity memoirs I'm definitely a fan of. And Tina Fey, she has a knack for writing and being funny, obviously. So if you're into Tina Fey or you just want a laugh, I definitely recommend this book. And it's one of those really easy books to read. It's large print and goes quick. There's pictures and all of that, but it's really interesting, and it's cool to see where she came from and how she got to where she is on SNL and with 30 Rock and everything. And it's a good celebrity memoir. If you'd like to see my 10 favorite celebrity memoirs, let me know. Alright, the next one is definitely a bit different. So this was actually one of my textbooks in college called Culture Making, Recovering Our Creative Calling. And I just want to read a little blurb from the back because it sort of sums up the book better than I could. So, culture is what we make of the world, both in creating cultural artifacts as well as in making sense of the world around us. So if you are any type of creator, if you're a writer, an artist, if you make videos on YouTube or anything, I really recommend this book because it said in that sentence, it breaks it down into what is culture. And basically he defines culture as what we make of the world. So what you make of it as in the sense of how you absorb the things around you, and then also what you make in the world. So the culture you're making with your videos, with your tweets, with whatever it may be, it's just a really interesting perspective, and realizing that there's sort of a calling to make culture and to make good culture in the world. And I really recommend it, especially if you're a content creator or an artist of any kind, which probably all of you are. So I definitely recommend it. Okay, the next book, I don't have the cover because my dog ate the back of it. True story. He got in trouble, don't worry. So this is David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. And honestly, any Malcolm Gladwell book is fantastic. This is just his most recent one. And it's really cool because he talks about how there's such a beauty in, those David and Goliath fights where there's the underdog and, the big scary obstacle and things like that. He talks about that, but he also talks about how we always underestimate those fights, and we underestimate the giant and how they have weaknesses just like us, if that makes sense. So it's a really fascinating book. It's about underdogs and overcoming obstacles and sort of the science and psychology behind those types of things. And definitely for the inquisitive mind out there, and honestly any Malcolm Gladwell book. I'll list a few down below, but he just has a gift for making these really scary scientific ideas, and he has a gift for boiling those down to make them really readable and really relatable. So I really recommend any of his books, but David and Goliath is his most recent and a good one. Alright, next one. Again, I feel like I could have just done this by author because David Sedaris, if you've ever listened to This American Life, the podcast, which is a really great podcast, he's a contributor there. He's a great writer. He does sort of performances. He's not a stand-up comedian, but his writing is just so funny. And this is his book, Dress Your Family in Corduroy and Denim. And it's a collection of short stories from his life, but he just has a gift for making mundane, everyday sort of experiences hilarious. And I think that's probably the best way I can describe any of his books. He's got 10 or 12 books. He's got a ton of them, and all of them, he just has a gift for making the mundane hilarious. So if you want a good laugh, they're easy reads, and like I said, they're just a collection of short stories, so you could sit down and read 3 or you could read 6. And I also read his most recent book, Let's Explore Diabetes with Owls is the title. And again, it's a collection of short stories, but any David Sedaris book, he's just got a gift. Also, listen to This American Life because he's on there a lot, and that's just a great podcast too. My next 2 books are definitely different from the other 4, but definitely in the last 5 years they've had a really profound impact on my life because if you don't know, I got married almost 3 years ago now, so that was definitely like a big change in my life within the last 5 years. So I've been reading several like marriage books and things about, you know, marriage and love and things like that. So the first one you've probably all heard of. Even the guys who were helping me film were like, hey, I didn't know that book, I want to read that book. Anyways, it's called The 5 Love Languages: The Secret to Love That Lasts. And basically what this book does is it breaks down how you give and receive love, and there's 5 different ways that we do that, and that's words of affirmation, so affirming someone shows them love, or quality time, just hanging out with them, gifts, acts of service, or physical touch. And those are the ways that, like, there's a way that you like to receive love, how you feel most love, and how you like to give love. And especially if you're in a relationship, I think this is a really, really great book for just understanding the other person in the relationship, and it can really help in just clarifying how you communicate with each other, if that makes any sense at all. But honestly, even if you're not in a relationship, just knowing how your friends want to give and receive love, or how your parents give and receive love, just knowing that, it creates a lot of harmony with the people that you love. So I really highly, highly recommend this book. And the final one, this is definitely for married couples or engaged couples, or if you're dating and you're like, you know, you're gonna get married or something like that. It's called For Better Forever, A Catholic Guide to Lifelong Marriage. And I know it says a Catholic guide, but honestly, even if you're not Catholic, I really recommend this book, because what he does is he sort of breaks down marriages from like shipwreck marriages, or like really marriages that are on the rocks, to how to achieve a really truly great marriage. And he's actually a psychologist who works with, he does a lot of marriage counseling and things like that, so he has a breadth of experience in these situations. And even if you have a great marriage, I think it's a really great book to read, just to see how to deal when, you know, certain things come up, or how you deal with certain things. It's a really great book for engaged couples, married couples, or couples that are dating with the intent of getting married. I really recommend it. And this is actually a gift from my little brother, so he's a cool kid. He gives good presents, good books. So that is it, guys. Those are 6 of my favorite books from the last 5 years. If you'd like to see more like book videos, reading is one of my favorite things to do, so I would love to share that with you. If you want to see like my favorite novels or my favorite biographies, anything, leave it down below. Every Friday video is a different requested video, so I would love to hear from you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you again for watching. Stay bougie, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.